your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 96.5 thechill.com.
CNB Bank and Trust has been helping open doors for Central Illinois farmers since 1854. Find out why they're among Illinois' top ag lenders by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Bob Reddings of the Bob Reddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. Joining me in the studio today is both Dolly and Kevin Brown. They are board members with Missions for Taylorville. Good morning to the both of you. How are we doing?
Hi. We're doing great. Thanks.
And I'm glad to have you here today. This is completely new to me, and so I'm excited to learn with you guys. And also for listeners to learn about you guys as well. I think that'd be a great place to start. Missions for Taylorville, the beginning, the mission behind it, how it all came to be. And if you could just kind of fill me in on the background of what Missions for Taylorville is.
Well, Missions for Taylorville was a vision from Chris Wilson back in 2009. She was a teacher in Taylorville and thought, people go on missions trips to foreign countries to try and do things for people there. What about people here? So in 2010, our first work day was organized and missions became a reality at that time.
I think, when you say that out loud, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We do go to the Bahamas or Haiti or wherever the case might be, but it's rare you see neighbors coming together for neighbors. Is that sort of the idea, that neighbors coming together for neighbors, other homeowners coming together for homeowners? And what are some of the pieces that have had to been put in place to get that happening?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Is people doing things for their neighbors, for other people in the same town. It might be something like yard work, or someone might need a wheelchair ramp built, or just things that they're no longer able to do by themselves.
And
that also helps them stay. The focus is helping people stay in their homes, such as the wheelchair accessible ramps. A lot of people can stay at home, but getting in and out is part of the problem. And so that's where that comes into play, helping them stay in their homes.
I can appreciate that too, rather than push them in either with family or into assisted living or things of that nature. All of a sudden, the place that you maybe grew up or maybe you raised your kids, now it's still available to you. At whatever age that might come about. What type of work we're doing? We're putting obviously wheelchair ramps and other things like that, but I have to imagine there are other things going on. What's some of the work that is being done with the Missions for Taylorville outside of some of those things that you mentioned?
Well, there's a wide variety of things we can do. Like we mentioned, wheelchair ramps, things like that. Maybe their porch needs repaired, the railing is coming apart, or it just needs scraped and painted. Maybe a rear fence from their backyard needs repaired. Sometimes there's some minor tree limb trimming or that type of yard work that they're just not able to do.
And so that's where we're going to need some volunteers. We're going to need some help for that. How do people get involved in helping out their neighbors then?
Well, you can go to missionsfortaylorville.org, and on that website there are the volunteer form as well as the homeowner form that they can print, and if they're not able to print it, a lot of people don't have that capability, they can always call. The number that they would call would be 217-824 8181, and Cheryl would be happy to send the form to them if they need that done, and then just return it. If they are a homeowner, there's a listing of their 3 priorities that they can list on there to be considered for the workday for this year. If they're a volunteer, they can they don't even have to sign up. They can walk in the day of, and we will put them along with their skill set onto a job with another crew of people who have come together to help.
And so what you're telling me is you don't have to be a skilled laborer or anything like that. It's we can find a spot for you. There's always something that needs
A
done.
willing heart is the biggest thing.
And we do really like them to go ahead and sign up ahead of time as a volunteer if they can, so that we can marry their skill set to the jobs that we have. That
true.
way they'll have an idea when they're coming in that day what they're going to be doing.
Yes, that's true.
Makes sense to me. And sometimes that'll kind of take the nerves of it, or it'll kind of smooth that process over getting them into that transition. When it comes to the homeowners, is there any restrictions or anything like that would maybe stop you from doing any of that work? Or is there anything that would kind of maybe stray them away from that?
We don't do any sort of roofing work or plumbing or electrical. First off, most of our volunteers do not have that skill set, and those are all licensed work. So we don't do any of those things. We have guys that can do things, usually volunteer, that maybe a back door needs to be replaced, or a window, or small portions of siding, or, like I said, working on their front porch or their fence, things like that.
From what I just read a moment ago in the informational pamphlet you provided me, no financial status is going to rule you out either. So if you're thinking, well, maybe I'm not going to get that help, you more than likely might get that help, and you should still put in your application to do so.
Correct. That's not one of the criteria we use when we are assessing the jobs or determining whether we are or not able to do that job.
And again, something I can appreciate there. And I'm sure for the most part, there will be folks that are needing that help, some of which might not have the funds to be able to do those projects. And that's why they're required or looking for said help. But it's still nice to know that there's not that financial hurdle there as well. So we're planning a work day to get all of these things done and taken care of. Take me through the work day, event details and things of that nature.
Well, the work day will be June 7th this year. That's a Saturday. Our work day starts at 8 a.m. We meet at the gymnasium at Calvary Baptist Church. Everyone will have their assigned work listed on a chart on the wall. Here's your job. If it requires tools, there's usually a set of tools that fit that job there. Or if you're joining a group to build something like a ramp, the crew there, the crew lead, will have usually the total amount of tools that you'll need. All the materials will already be at the work site. You don't have to transport anything. Everything will be there waiting for you. We have a quick breakfast provided. McDonald's usually is great about providing us our breakfast. And they'll pick up a lunch bag at that time as well. Bottled water. June's usually pretty warm, so everybody grabs a couple bottles of water and takes with them. And after quick prayer, we distribute to our job sites, and everybody gets to working.
Breakfast, got a lunch bag. You got every hurdle is taken away from you. It's just make sure you're there. Let's get you out to that site and be a part of it. So June 7th will be the workday coming up, Saturday, June 7th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Another thing that I just saw here, talking about those major repairs. I know you mentioned the 3 that we're not going to be able to do, but it looks like we're also trying to involve local contractors, people from the area locally that have that expertise in that. Are you looking to get them still involved and other people still involved with that when it comes to local contractors, or where are you at with those?
Absolutely. We'll take help from anyone and everyone, and especially that skilled labor set that they won't necessarily have to do the job themselves. They can be the lead person on that, go assess the job, see what's going to need to be done, how many people they might potentially need assigned to that task with them. And you might be part of that skilled set doing the job, or you might be one of the gopher guys of, hey, go get me this board or that tool.
And for somebody that's not able to actually physically work on a property, Dolly, can you tell me a little bit about the donations and if I'm not physically able to do it, but I can still fiscally help in this mission? Can you kind of take me down that path?
Sure. We are under the Taylorville Ministerial Association, which is a 501c3. So all donations that are given are tax deductible. And we really like to stress too that 100% of everything we do, it goes toward, or everything we have goes toward the jobs that we do. We are all volunteer, period. Our board is volunteer. It's been that way from the beginning, and we never want to change that. And so whatever you might, if you're not able to come and you're able to give financially, that would be greatly appreciated, because, unfortunately, everything in life, there's a cost to it. But from generous people, we, and through God's provision, every year, all of what we need is always donated. So it's really great to see that side of it too.
Well, I'm excited for you guys in this workday coming up, and for interested homeowners, interested volunteers. We'll talk more about how to get on board with that on Saturday, June 7th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we'll come back around in just one moment with Kevin and Dolly Brown, board members with the Missions for Taylorville. We're going to talk more about what they've got going on, how to become involved, and maybe how to donate as well. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Kimmer Village Inc. is hiring for our future Assumption Community Child Care Center. This is Shawla Snagel, Executive Director for Kimmer Village Inc.
This is Amanda McKay, Director of Human Resources. If you're looking for a career with full benefits, paid meals, qualify for student loan forgiveness, we support continuing education, and if you want to make a difference in a child's life, apply at kimmervillage.org and click Join Our Team.
This is Bill Pinkston, General Sales Manager at Landmark of Taylorville. We are celebrating springtime with unbelievable discounts. Right now, you can get employee pricing on most of our new in-stock models. You pay what we pay on our award-winning Chevy, Buick, and GMC lineups. Plus, with over 400 pre-owned vehicles in our family dealerships and our lifetime powertrain warranty, why would you buy anywhere else? Have a vehicle you want to sell? Bring it by for a quick, no-hassle appraisal. All roads lead to Landmark of Taylorville, where you can save thousands with employee pricing. And remember,
You always do better at Landmark.
Have you seen the signs?
They're everywhere.
We see them on billboards,
On TV.
and as I polish off my third jumbo chili cheese dog at the ballpark,
We see the signs posted on Facebook
painted on water towers.
and tattooed on a biker's bicep.
Have you seen the signs?
You know, the ones that say John 3:16.
In the midst of our hurries and worries and our countless quests for comfort, it's easy to look past the signs
To miss the significance.
and to take our many blessings for granted.
Hey, we know it's rough out there.
So much noise.
So much anger.
Sometimes you just need to slow down and refocus on what it's really all about.
We hope you'll take some time this weekend to see the signs.
They're all around you. You just have to look for them.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Happy Easter, and God bless.
From Jansen's Heating and Air.
Your locally owned Scooters Coffee at routes 29 and 104 in Taylorville are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Give Back promotion. Scooters Coffee will donate the following to the Taylorville Sports Boosters. For each Tornado varsity football touchdown, they're donating $10. For each three-point shot in varsity Tornado boys and girls basketball games, they're donating $3. And $5 for each home run scored by varsity baseball and softball team. The 22 local Scooters Coffee Taylorville, thank you for your business. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Carl Krumsick here from Krumsick Monument Company in Taylorville, Illinois. Find out the many services we provide by clicking our icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Blaine Cornwell with Prairie State Insurance. To learn more about our products and services, click our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show here on your information station, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining me in this segment is both Kevin and Dolly Brown, board members with Missions for Taylorville. We've been talking about their workday coming up, all the work that goes into it, donations, volunteer work, and also the mission and the vision behind all these projects. One thing I know that we want to make sure we talk about here today is you do not have to be a member of the church to actually participate. I understand that there is a background with that, but don't let that deter you from the work being done. Do you ever have anything that comes up with that, or is that something that we just want to make sure, hey?
Yeah, that's just something we want to make sure that everybody knows. This was originally started by a member of a church, and we have a lot of church members from all the various churches in the town, the community, that volunteer. But we have people that don't go to church anywhere that really want to help out their community, and they're more than welcome to come that day or to sign up ahead of time on that online that Dolly gave you a little while ago.
Another thing that I'm just reading now here as well, making phone calls to enlist volunteers. So let's say I can't give a donation, and let's say I can't, my back is no good anymore, and I can't use. Now maybe we need some help with some phone calls. Is there anything that you can tell me about that?
Yes. So we have 6 board members, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to piggyback on what Kevin said. We are all of us are from different churches here in town. So that's really been really interesting and really cool to see everybody coming together from different denominations and contributing as to the community. And so now I'm sorry, I'm a squirrel. What did you ask me?
You're okay. No.
Oh, the phone thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, we have one of our ladies who we divide up the responsibilities, and she's in charge of recruiting. And so Mary Linda Graham is her name. And she would be happy to, coordinate some people calling. And she's one that is a go-getter too. She has some physical limitations, but man, she gets in there and works with the best of them. But she is in charge of that section of it.
Okay.
And we have people that have volunteered in the past or different community organizations that we try to reach out to see if they would like to be part of that. So that would be great.
And I either way, I know that but I appreciate that piece there, because if the board members are all coming together for a good cause, it doesn't matter what the background is. You're doing it for the people of the community. So I think really that should almost be kind of erased from your mind. It's today, here's the work that we're doing, and it's for the benefit of somebody else. That's being neighborly. That's what God would ask of you. So no matter the religion. So the only other thing that I can really think of and really want to make sure that we hammer home here today as well is the workday, the event details, volunteer help, donation help, and also what took place last year, and kind of to put that into perspective for us.
Last year we had just some stats from that. We had 23 homeowners that we were able to do projects for. Now, with each homeowner has the opportunity to submit 3 projects in order of priority that they would like to have completed. For those 23 homeowners, we actually were able to complete 45 jobs. So if you think about that, all in the span of one day, there's a little bit of more things that go into it than that just one day, because we have to do assessing, or if there's a lead person on a job, they would have to go assess and get the materials and things like that. But that's really, if you think about, that's a lot of things to accomplish in an 8-hour period. It's been really good.
That's more impressive than my 8-hour workday generally. So, but thinking back to how many projects you can get done, we got to have those volunteers. We got to have that help. Again, could you let folks know how to get involved with either of those two things?
Sure. You can go to missionsfortaylorville.org, and there are applications on there for either the homeowner or the volunteer. There's also, if you can follow us on Facebook, there's a link to a Google Doc that you can sign up as a volunteer online. So you don't have to print anything, and you can just sign up right there. That might be the easiest way. For a lot of people have access to the internet now, and they can do that from their phone or wherever. So we try to make it as easy as possible. But if they have questions, they can always call and ask whatever questions they might have, or email us also.
Again, Kevin and Dolly Brown with Missions for Taylorville joining us here on the morning show. Either of you have anything else that we want to make sure that we mentioned before this last 30 seconds comes up on us?
We just want to say thanks for this opportunity, and we really want to stress to the community, you can be involved. You may not think you have a great skill set or whatever, but you can be involved, and we will get you working on a project.
And to do so, multiple ways of being able to contact them. Follow them on Facebook, Missions for Taylorville. You can contact them by email, and you can give them a phone call, 217-824-8155. 8181. That is multiple ways of doing so. And keep in mind, Workday for Missions for Taylorville coming up Saturday, June 7th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is an impressive amount of stuff that you mentioned to me being done in 8 hours. So I'm excited to see what this year has in store for you folks. And again, just thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you so much.
Again, Dolly and Kevin Brown with Missions for Taylorville, board members with Missions for Taylorville here on the morning show. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5.